Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. An Innocent Heart. Episode 6. Chapter 60. CH60. Zane. The more I looked at the picture of Hope with him, the angrier I got. Why is she sitting with him? Why isn't she trying to get away? She's actually smiling and sitting down with him. It looked like they were having a picnic or something. What? Thoughts of him with her cloud my judgment and anger takes over me. I let out a loud pained growl and grab a lamp off the table and smash it against the wall. I smash everything I can get a hold of as I can't erase the images of his mouth on hers, Hope kissing the filthy snake, her. The rage that has been simmering underneath my skin works its way and takes over me. I tore the place down. Hunter took over and I welcomed his wrath until I grabbed one of Hope's many pictures that I have hanging on my walls and instantly stopped. My heart was beating like a maniac. I looked into her eyes. Those emerald green eyes that have haunted me from the first day I followed her mouth-watering scent and saw her outside by the pool. I feel a sharp stinging pain cut through my body. I cannot go on like this. I can't live without her, but what does this picture mean? Is she out there somewhere living a new life with Alex? Has she forgotten about me? There's no way I have felt her rejection had she forgotten about me, about us. I am convinced that Alex has drugged Hope and that's why Hunter could not reach Jenna. How is it possible that she is having a picnic with him? What am I missing? I called Jason and told him to come meet me at the Red Blood Moon Pack. Axel and all our other allies have been helping us look for Alex. I drove over to Axel's pack as fast as I could and mind-linked Matt on the way. Be ready, I think we might have a location. Emily greeted me as soon as I got there. Seeing her always reminded me of Hope, not that I could ever forget about Hope or let her go. I will get back what's mine. How are you? She asked me, hugging me tight. I don't answer her question. Have you found any new leads? She asked again. Axel was standing beside her. Yes, someone sent Jason a picture of her. I'm going to get a technician to figure out where the picture was taken. Oh my goddess, that's great news. Emily hugs me again. I'm sure it wasn't Alex who sent the picture, I said. Someone else is there that knows Jason. Gavin transferred to the east the same day Hope was abducted, I said, looking at Emily. Well, he has been trying to ask her out for a while. Well then why would he help Alex? Axel asks. Just then Jason and his maid arrive and are escorted to where we are in the private den. Right away Axel calls for his best technician. After all the digging to find a clue, any clue or lead, after all the dead ends, I finally have Hope. You need to figure out where this picture was sent from. I hand him Jason's phone. Yes Alpha, I can use EXIF data and GPS coordinates to find out where the picture was taken. It won't take too long. Hunter perked his ears up. He's always ready for a good fight. The technician sits down and starts doing his thing while I wait impatiently. Jason, have you tried calling the number that sent you the picture? I asked him. Yes Alpha, they won't answer. Then all of a sudden I hear it. Hello. I stood almost unable to speak or move as the sweetest voice fills my mind and soul and shoots right through to my heart. I didn't want to say anything so her voice wouldn't fade away like it had so many times before. I keep hearing voices, are you there? Hunter howls out in agony and longing when he hears her voice, but he still can't reach Jenna. So I take my chances. Hope my voice cracks through our mind link. Please don't shut me out, tell me where you are. She's there, I can feel her and hear her breathing. I lean back against the wall and slide down to sit on the floor, trying to calm myself down. She doesn't say anything at first but then finally speaks. I don't know where I am. Her voice was gentle but sad through our mind link. Nobody in the room seems to notice, but they can't hear us either. Baby, where is Jenna? I couldn't believe I was reaching out to her, but she didn't seem like herself. I'm going to murder. Jenna? Who's Jenna? It's my baby's sweet voice, but it holds no emotion and she is not herself. Hope. I say, sounding panicked. She doesn't answer, but I can feel her there. I lean my head back against the wall. I love you, Hope. Remember that. After a few short seconds our link was blocked, but those few seconds made Hunter thrive even more for Alex's blood. I was getting impatient. I kept hovering over the man as he clicked away on Jason's phone. 15 minutes later I had a location. The picture was sent from the Northeast and precisely from the state of Maine. I quickly called Brian and my father. Matt put together our best warriors and trackers while I called my best pilot. All I had to do was make a 6-hour flight and then I could kill. What if this is a trap? Axel asked. Why would he risk sending you a picture that you can easily track? He didn't send it, I said. Hope. After breakfast with Alex he left, but not without trying to get me to give him a promise that I would take my so-called medication. After Alex left I looked for Kane but couldn't find him anywhere. So I went to my room and got ready to train. It was time for my pill. I didn't take it. Instead I sat down on my bed and concentrated on the voice in my head. I heard that voice again. This time he called me by my name. He asked me where I was and he asked for another person called Jenna. I was totally freaked out, so took my crazy pills and headed down to the gym. I stopped when I saw Kane in the hallway. He tried to hide his face from me. Kane, what happened? I hoped he would tell me the truth, but he didn't. I had an accident, he said. I looked at him knowingly. I saw him attack you. I folded my arms against my chest. Hope you can't tell him you saw that. He might. He might what? I demanded, but he doesn't answer. Why did you let him do that to you? Why put up with it, Kane? He smiles at me. I have a feeling he will get what he deserves soon. Plus I'll be leaving in a few days. I have a prom to go to, he says in all seriousness. I wish I could go, I say. He looks at me so intently before he says in a very low voice. You don't deserve this, Hope. He sounds so different. He's usually lively and funny. Right now he seems to hold a heavy burden. My heart aches for Jason. Jason? Just then I see myself on a beach sitting next to a guy who hands me a drink. I meant it. Hope, I'll always take care of you, the guy says to me. Who is he? Why do I keep having these memories? I need to ask Kane about these visions I keep having, but right now was not the right time. I suppose he could have meant my memory loss, but for some reason I had a feeling he meant something else. I spent the rest of the afternoon training with Kane before going up to my room to take a shower. I stop in my tracks when I see Alex sitting in my room. I thought you were leaving for a few days. I asked. I was, but I couldn't leave you here alone. He smiles at me. Hope. I stood at my bedroom door feeling uneasy with him in my bedroom and because he hit Kane. Don't worry about me, I won't be alone. Kane is here. He looked at me from head to toe. Why are you standing there? Come on in, he said. What's wrong? He asked as I walked in and sat on my couch. Nothing's wrong, I'm just surprised you're in my room. Oh, I'm sorry, I came looking for you and just let myself in. I thought you said you had to go away on business and you said it was urgent. He stood up and walked slowly over to my window. Hope I've been keeping something from you, I felt my stomach turn. He walked over and sat down right next to me. I stayed quiet, giving him time to collect himself. I have been betrayed by someone very close to me. He paused. I guess that's why I have trust issues. I stayed quiet, wanting to hear more. I had a girlfriend once and we were crazy about each other. I wanted to marry her. But my best friend betrayed me and took her away. I gasped, snapping my eyes open wide. Oh my God, how? He came between us and started telling her lies. He told her that I was cheating on her with another woman. He put his head down. Why would she believe him and not you? I asked. She believed him because Crystal, that was the other woman's name, told her that it was true. I was set up by them both and my girl left me. I found out later that she started dating my best friend. That was her name, Crystal? I asked. The name did ring a bell. Yes, she set me up along with my best friend. I felt bad for him, but the look he had on his face wasn't genuine. I was also shocked by how open Alex was being, but why was he telling me this now? I asked myself silently. When Crystal finally agreed to tell my girl the truth, he was outraged, so he killed her. I was shocked. Alex had been hurt by his own best friend. Killed her? I repeated, and he nodded his head. Yet and he got away with it because he's a leader of a very dangerous pack. Pack? Gang, I meant gang. He swallowed and looked away for a minute, but I never gave up on my girl. So what happened? When she saw what he did to Crystal, she wanted to leave him, but he killed her parents and threatened to kill her if she left him. I felt a chill down my spine. What was your best friend's name? I asked. He paused for a second. Zane, he said, looking right at me. Oh my God, Kane told me that Zane was the leader of the cult who killed my parents. I was Alex's girlfriend. She tried to get away from him and ended up in a horrible accident, and I saved her. I couldn't believe what he was saying. This man had been through so much. Betrayed by his best friend and lost the girl he loved, loves. I struggled to say something. Anything. He took my hand in his. Hope, we were once lovers, but he took you away from me. I used to pray that you'd forget all about him because he was nothing but trouble. I still pray that you fall in love with me again and we can continue our lives together. I gasped, feeling so confused. I took out my frustration on Kane this morning. He said you'll never love me the way you loved him. I couldn't help myself. The thought of you leaving me for someone so vile breaks my heart. So when Kane said that, I attacked him. He sighs and he puts his head down. I shouldn't have done that. But he just made me so angry when he said that. I felt bad. This is Alex, the person who saved me. He's never been anything but kind to me, and he's always been the perfect gentleman, never forced me into anything. I remained quiet, taking all this new information in. Some best friend you had, I laughed. Yet I know. I couldn't leave you here. I want you to come with me. I care about you and I don't want to be without you. I don't know what to say. I have no feelings for Alex. He's very handsome, but I did love him once, I thought to myself. I want to make sure you don't miss a dose of your medication. If you do, your nightmares will never go away. He sounded so sincere, but I can't help but I feel uneasy. I'm not a little girl, I won't forget to take my medication, I said, trying to make him smile. As I was looking at his face, his eyes changed colors. I could have sworn they turned a shade darker. I jumped out of my seat. Alex, your eyes. He rubbed them. What's wrong with them? I took a closer look and they appeared normal. Oh great, now I'm seeing things. Hope, come with me, I'm going to an island near Tahiti, you'd love it. I have a meeting with a realtor, I'm thinking of buying some property out there. I thought about it for a minute. I don't want to lead you on. I know you said we were a couple once and maybe we can get there again, but right now I'm not ready for anything like that, and going with you might. He cuts me off. Hope, I promised you that I would wait and I'm keeping my promise. You'll have fun, I promise. Okay, I'll come with you. Can Kane come? He's not here. He got up and walked to the door. He had to leave for a few days. He misses his family, I guess. He left without saying anything to me. He was in a rush, Alex said plainly. I was utterly speechless, thinking the worst, but then snapped myself out of my own thoughts. Do you think it's safe for me to travel? I asked. Don't worry, I got you a fake passport. Your real name won't show up. Can you be ready in 30 minutes? Zane, Axel, my father, and 5 other alphas flew over to Maine in my jet. Emily wouldn't let Axel come without her, so she came along as well. Even though I was this much closer to finding Hope and murdering the snake Alex, I was on edge the whole 5-hour flight until I sat in my bedroom and thought of her. I remembered the first time we were in here. She was so shy, so sweet. The first time she told me she loved me was on this jet. I still remember the dress she was wearing and how I peeled it off her on this bed. I remembered eating her until she came and then held her in my arms. Alex, the cunning snake, better not have laid a finger on her. If I stayed in here alone, I'd drive myself crazy again. I got up and joined the rest back in the lounge. As we walked through Portland International Jetport, I could feel Hunter going mad. Mate, he screamed, wanting to come out and take over me. Hope was here at the airport. Lock the airport down now, I yelled out to my father. He and our allies all spread out in search as they caught on to what was happening. I ran through the crowd of people like a madman. Suddenly her mouth-watering scent hit me and I finally spotted her. The scene before me almost brought me to my knees as my nightmare was happening right in front of me. I saw Alex with one hand on Hope's face as he kissed her. Hope was kissing Alex. A terror-filled growl escaped me as I ran up to the mother snake and tore him away from what's mine. I threw him down on the ground, people screaming and running away as I stepped on his throat. You dare touch her, you coward, you disgusting traitor, I snarled at him. Stop, you're going to kill him, Hope shouted at me and pushed me off Alex. I stopped stone cold when her small hand grabbed mine, pushing me off. I felt her electric tingles run through me, giving me life. But her touch couldn't calm me down this time. Hope actually stopped me from hurting Alex. Axel picked up him the floor. Take him to the jet quickly, Dad ordered as the other alphas who accompanied us talked to the security and police officers. I couldn't tear my eyes away from Hope. I wanted to grab her and pull her into my chest, and at the same time I wanted to kill her. I stood there in a daze as a crying Emily jumped on Hope, hugged her. Hope stared back at me, but her gaze was lost, confused and a little scared. Zane, we found her, Emily cried. You're Zane? She asked me. What? Yet I'm Zane, I growled out at her, still livid that she was kissing Alex. Hi Zane, she tilted her head to the side with a sly smile on her perfect lips. Nice to finally meet you, she growled at me as she lunged forward and attacked me. I'm going to peel the skin off her. I instantly blocked her attack without hurting her. I grabbed her and pulled her arms down. Heaven! Get your hands off me, she fought to get out of my tight hold. You're not going anywhere, I yelled and dragged her out the airport and carried her over my shoulder inside my jet. I walked straight to the bedroom and put her down to stand on her own 2 feet. Hope, my voice came out. Panicked, she threw herself at me again and punched straight in the jaw. She's gotten stronger. She has no recollection of who I am or who we are together. Baby, what happened to you? You happened to me, I hate you. She growled at me, making me equally heartbroken and horny. I turned around and walked out the bedroom, leaving her alone for a minute. I needed to back off before I did something I'll regret later. His mouth on hers was all I could see. Emily walked in with Axel. Watch her, I barked out at them as I walked out the bedroom, looking over my shoulder at her. She was glaring right back at me. Where is he, we have on board? I asked as I stomped over to Alex and grabbed him by the neck. What did you do to her? I seethed as I squeezed his neck, digging my claws into his flesh. A lot, he smirked at me. I saw red as I lifted him up by the neck and threw him all the way back. I lunged at him, picked him up off the floor and punched him right across his jaw. He spit blood out of his mouth. I treated you like a brother, you spineless traitor. I won't let you hurt her, he screamed out, making sure Hope would hear him. I hit him again. This time he fell unconscious to the floor. I looked up from my rage and saw Hope looking at me, eyes wide open. She looked terrified. As soon as her eyes landed on mine, she turned around and ran back into the bedroom, closing the door behind her. Hunter growled out in agony. He still couldn't feel Jenna's presence at all. What did he mean by a lot? I'm going to make sure to tear his arms off one by one, then his legs. Alpha, ready for takeoff? The pilot asked me, snapping me out of my thoughts. No, I want to search the location where he was keeping her. We'll go, you stay here with her, my father said as he walked. Alpha, Axel, you and Emily please stay here with him. I opened the door and walked in. She stood up right away. I stayed quiet watching her. She is so beautiful, but she's looking at me like she wants to decapitate me. I don't know what he's told you about me. I walked over slowly, very slowly, but I'm sure whatever he said was a lie. I stood in front of her, looking into her eyes. I reached out to hold her, but she flinched and pushed me away. Zane. Alex is still unconscious. Axel chained the FKR down in the back of the jet. Emily is still overwhelmed and crying, trying to cope with what's happened to her friend, because Hope is definitely not herself. She looks the same, but she doesn't know anyone around her right now except for Alex. Did you kill him? I bit my bottom lip, trying hard to hold, about to explode out at her. Not yet. I sneered, glaring at her. We'll see about that, she challenged me. I wanted to go out there and end his miserable life right then, but I still need the traitor for now. Hope. I took a step towards her as she took one back. I ran my hand through my hair, then down my face, trying to calm myself down, then pinned my eyes on hers. I'm trying to hold myself together because you're not yourself, but stop defending that. You won't like what I do, I spoke harshly. You. Later. Right now I have something to do. You're going to lock me in here? Where are you taking me? I'm not locking you in here. You are free to go anywhere you want on this jet, I said calmly. I tore my eyes away from her and took a few steps back, slid the bedroom door open and looked at her again. As long as you stop trying to fight me. Where are you taking me? Home. She glared at me. I was at home, that's it. No, you weren't home, you were at the airport kissing Alex, I shouted and slammed my hand against the wall. She flinched and took a step back. I left her alone in the bedroom because honestly seeing her kiss Alex has put me in a very annoyed mood. The reason I haven't strangled him yet is because I need the snake to find out what happened to her. I sat down across from Axel. I want to go see where he kept her, I whispered mostly to myself. Go ahead Emily, and I will stay with her. I leaned back thinking about it. If I take her with me she will try to run. Just then the snake woke up. Axel got up and hit him in the face with his boot. Hope, he yelled out for her help. I rushed over to him. You know Alex, I never took you. He kept his mouth shut. Axel chained his arms behind his back then blindfolded him. Sweetheart, can you get me a towel from the kitchen area, he asked Em. Of course love, she said and went away for a minute, then came back with a small towel. Axel stuffed the towel in his mouth. This will keep your mouth shut. Alex, I came down to his level. I'm going to love killing you. I'm going to tear you apart piece by piece. Then I'm going to feed you to the dogs. I meant every word. I heard a slow gasp and knew Hope had heard every word I'd said. I turned sideways and she immediately went back into the room and shut the door, locking it. Cute attempt, but I had a spare key. I want to talk to her, Emily said. I handed her the spare key that I kept in the kitchen cabinet. Emily, stay with her. I have to go see where he was keeping her. My cell phone rang. Zane, we're on our way back. He had someone in his dungeon, so we brought him with us. He's in bad shape. I knew this was the person who sent Jason the picture, and I also knew who he was. 30 minutes later my father and the other alphas returned. Dad was right, Gavin was in bad shape. What happened to him? He looked like he was dead, I thought to myself. Put him over there, I pointed to a large seat. Alex tried throwing a fit, so Axel plodded over to him, punched him out cold again. Hope. I cannot believe how cruel one person can be. I felt so bad for Alex. Someone unlocked the door. I stood up instantly but relaxed a little when I saw a girl my age walk in. Her face was so inviting. I remembered how she hugged me crying at the airport. Hi. Can I come in? She asked carefully. Yet I guess it's not my room. She walked over and sat on the couch. Hope, what happened to your memory? Because this isn't you. I looked at her blankly. What do you mean, what happened to me, and who are you? I'm Emily, your best friend and Zane's sister. How could his sister be my best friend? His sister could never be my friend, let alone best friend. Hope, she tried taking my hand but I shoved her away. I swear I heard her growl before leaving the room. Like brother, like sister, I guess. A few minutes later the bully walked in with an older man. Hope, I can't imagine what you've been through. Everything will be okay from now on, the older man spoke. His whole aura demanded attention, just like the creep next to him. I looked at them both. They resemble each other. Who are you and how are you related to him? I asked, pointing to the bully. He looked down then back up at me. I'm Alpha Philip Black and he's my son Alpha Zane, he answered me calmly. What are you guys both the gang leaders? How did you get the title as Alpha? My voice was sarcastic. By how many people you kill? Hope, the bully warned. His father walked out leaving us alone. Have you eaten? He asked me. I didn't answer him. He walked out and I was able to breathe again. His presence had me on edge. There's something about him I couldn't figure out. He came back in with a tray of food. Come sit down and eat. I'm not hungry. Fine then, rest a little, you've had a long day. He gestured to the bed. Is this your jet? I asked him as I folded my arms against my chest. Yes it is, he answered. So this is your bedroom? Yes, this is my bedroom when I'm traveling. He is so full of himself. The expression on my face was full of hate. So I'll never eat here or sleep on your bed. I looked at him in all seriousness. You never seemed to mind the 1,000 other times you slept in my bed, what? I glared at him. I want my bag. I'll get you your bag when you eat, what? I felt like punching his lights out again. Fine, I'll get it myself. I walked out past him into a lounge area and screamed at the sight in front of me. Kane, I exclaimed, coming to his side. What did you call him? I heard Zane growl. Zane. Kane, that's what I called him. Hope sassied back. I looked at my father. Things were starting to make a little more sense now, but I couldn't think straight. She was pushing every one of my buttons, but if I didn't love her and want her, as soon as we get home I'm taking her, I'm dragging her to the hospital to try and find out what happened to her memory and how to get it back. Then I'm going to find out more about Kane/Gavin. Gavin was in bad shape. Someone really did a number on him. Kane, she knelt down beside him trying to see if he was conscious at all. You guys did this to him, she accused, standing up to face me. No, we didn't do this to him. They found him like this. My mood already foul enough. Where? She looked at my father in disbelief. We found him where Alex was keeping you, in the dungeon, my father said. His voice was calm and assuring, but I knew she didn't trust him or any one of us. Dungeon? She laughed. Yes, in the dungeon, and Alex was most probably the one who attacked him. She stayed quiet. I could tell she was thinking about what my father had just said. Then she turned back to face Kane and reached out to take his hand. Jealousy seethed through my pores. I tore her hand away. Hunter was raging. I've been trying really hard not to let him loose since I saw her kissing the bastard, and now she was reaching to take another man's hand. That made my gut twist, and the protective and possessive instincts I have for her suddenly took over. Don't touch him, I warned. She looked me straight in the eyes but didn't say anything. I felt as though her composure faltered for a second. Then she knelt down beside him. Kane, she called out. Her voice was warm and calm. I clenched my teeth. With me it's like she wants to kick me. With him and Alex she's calm and quiet. They had brainwashed my baby and filled her head with vile things about me. That's why she was so cold to me. I needed Jenna back. Hunter's side. He was relieved to have his mate back, but he wanted all of her back, her other half included. I could only imagine the things they told her about me. But Gavin did send the picture, which was a clear call for help on his part. But what took him so long? If he wanted to help her, why did he wait so long? I thought to myself, then heard the pilot shut the door. Alpha, we are ready for takeoff. Hope looked up at him. Yes, go ahead, we're ready, I grumbled. My father and the rest of the Alphas all took a seat. We can't take off, he needs a hospital. Hope exclaimed. As soon as we land I'll make sure he gets the best care. I'll take him to our hospital, we can treat him better than anyone else, I told her. Emily walked over with a first aid kit and some towels. Her and Axel attended to Gavin. Hope, sit down just until we're up in the air, please. She turns away from me, then takes a seat. Did she actually just do what I asked? Hope. I sat down feeling a little intimidated by him. I sat alone and leaned my head down. I couldn't see Alex and honestly right now I felt a little lost. He told me that Kane had gone away. Then these people find him in a dungeon? I asked myself. Alex lied to me about Kane. He had not gone away unless maybe he had, then these people found him. While deep in thought I feel a pair of eyes burning into me. I look up and find myself entranced in Zane's dark eyes. Something within me was pulling me towards him and I heard a faint sound of a female voice inside my head that said mate. I remembered I hadn't taken my medicine. Thankfully I always kept a few extra pills in my pockets. I stood up to go find some water. Where are you going? I need some water. I'll get you some. He walked away and came back with a bottle of cold water. I took the pill out to swallow it. What is that? He asked. Medication. Medication for what? You never needed medicine. I rolled my eyes at him. Not that it's any of your concern, but I bumped my head in the accident and now have to take these so I don't hear voices in my head. He looks at me shocked. When were you in an accident? After you killed my parents. I sneered at him. He stood speechless. So this is what Alex told you? That I killed your parents? He tried to take my hand but I pushed him away. Hope your parents are alive and they have been worried sick about you. I have been worried sick about you. He gets closer and puts his hand on my face. Baby, he's brainwashed you and he's lied to you. I could never hurt you. You were never in a car accident and your parents are alive. My heart clenched at the raw need I saw in his eyes. I have parents who are alive. Yes, and your parents and my parents are very close. They have been all their lives. If you want we can video call your parents right now. You're the spitting image of your mother and you're strong like your father. I love you. Hope, remember that. I gasped and my lips parted. I suddenly remembered. He was the gorgeous man I would have visions about and it was his voice in my head. How did I not notice before? I could feel my eyes water. Zane. Yes, baby. I heard your voice in my head. You asked about a girl called Jenna and, before I could continue, he finished what I was going to say. And I said I love you. Hope, remember that. How? He took the pills from my hand. Alex abducted you. He took you away from your home. He took you away from your family. He took you away from me. He runs his hand through this hair. He was my best friend. He betrayed me and took you away from me. He paused, looking at me. Baby, these aren't medication, these are drugs. There is nothing wrong with you other than somehow erased your memory. I'm going to find out how and you will get better, but you have to stop taking these pills. You will understand everything once we get home. My parents are home. He looked at me and cracked a smile, then took out his phone. He scrolled fast through his pictures, which were all of me, until he got to one with an older man, beautiful woman, and me in it, my parents. I felt like crying, so I got up and walked all the way back into the bedroom. Zane followed, but this time I didn't mind. I sat down on the bed. My emotions were all over the place. He picked me up and sat down with me on his lap. I tried to get off, but his grip was firm around my waist. I'm going to make sure he tells you the truth himself. I never hurt you or your parents, Hope. Alex did. Hope. I sat on Zane's lap, a man who until a few minutes ago was someone I loathed and considered my enemy. Everything he said was surreal, but on the other hand, sitting here on his lap right now, I had never felt so safe. He brought his hand to my neck and ran his fingers across my birthmark. He made me feel things I don't ever remember feeling. Do you remember what this is? My birthmark? I asked in a low voice. He pursed his lips together. It's not a birthmark. It is a mark though. My mark. His eyes turned a few shades darker as he locked them on mine. I felt a bit anxious. I bit down on my lip as he looked deeply into my soul. How in the world is he doing this? I mentally asked myself. Your mark. I repeated, trying to break away from his hypnotic eyes and the spell he had me under. Yes, and this is your mark. He moved the collar of his shirt to the side. Oh my God, he had the same birthmark, mark on his neck. My eyes moved slowly from his neck back up to his eyes. His masculine aura took me under, drowning me in a sea of emotions. My breathing became softer and felt my pensive look melt away into a small smile. When you mark someone, you are showing the world that he or she belongs to you. He continued to explain a concept I couldn't fathom. Voices in my head, hearing him speak to me in my head, marks and alphas are all fictional details out of a book or movie. I tried to get up again, but he pulled me down again. This is too much all at once, I said, looking everywhere but not at his eyes. His deep husky voice was enough to make me melt into him. I had to break away from the physical and emotional grip that he had on me. But he wasn't having it. He was definitely someone who was used to getting what he wants. I know. He gently gripped my chin and turned my face towards his, but I promise once we are back home everything will fall into place and everything I told you will make more sense there. I was spellbound again. He is just so handsome, I mean nobody else could compare to him. But now that I was studying his features intently, he looked tired, almost worn out, like he hadn't slept in a while. His scruffy beard gives him a rough-looking appearance. I wonder if that's just his look or if he hasn't shaved in a long time. In the visions I had of him, he had a light stubble. Regardless, he is simply gorgeous. Like a Greek god. Okay, I need to stop staring at him. My body squirmed just a bit before my muscles relaxed. There was something about his gaze and the way he spoke. I was sure I would never find myself by another man's voice or stare. A sudden knock at the door makes me jump off his lap. He sighs and stands up. Yes, come in. Hey, I thought you both might like a drink. His sister handed him 2 glasses of wine. She looked happy, like she was happy her brother and I were in here. But I didn't want them getting the wrong idea, so I walked towards the door. No, I'm fine, I need to check on Kane, I said and walked out. Actually his name is Gavin, his sister said. I looked back at her, then continued. When I passed by Zane's father and his friends, one of them around Zane's age stood up. Luna, it's so nice to see you after all this time. I'm so happy for your safe return. I wanted to ask him why he called me Luna, but I didn't. I managed to smile at him. Hope, Zane's dad took me aside. Zane walked up to my side. I called your parents and I cannot tell you how overwhelmed and happy they were when I told them we found you. Your mother was in tears. I couldn't find the words I wanted to say. I had parents that I didn't remember. How long until we get there? Is all I managed to utter. About 2 hours. Zane answered after looking at his watch. His watch caught my attention for a few seconds. Hope, his father called my attention back to him. Whatever Alex did to you, he will pay for, I assure you. He took you away from your loved ones and has obviously brainwashed you, but nothing is ever lost. I have never witnessed a stronger bond as you two had, and I'm sure your love for each other will withstand this dilemma. He motioned his hand between Zane and I. Once again I was at a loss for words. He walked away and I hurried off to Kane's side. He was still unconscious. Kane, you have to be okay. Who else am I going to train with from now on? I asked in a small whisper and laughed silently to myself. Baby, come eat please. I was famished, so I just nodded my head. I want to see Alex. He looked at me with pursed lips. I have to see him, I said. He pinched the bridge of his nose, then ran his hand through his hair. He walked before me to where Alex was. He had his eyes wide open. I had never seen such a sinister look before. He glared at me, then at Zane, but he couldn't say anything because his mouth was stuffed with a towel of some sort. As soon as Zane took the towel out of his mouth, he took a deep breath. Zane. So you told her I killed her parents? You are so pathetic. He was looking straight at me. She's going to see her parents in a little bit. Alex, you said Zane took me away from you. It was the other way around, wasn't it? She asked. I was so relieved to hear her say that, but he remained quiet. I wanted to bang his head against the wall until he bled to death, but not right now. He looked away from her, knowing he had lost. I have been in love with you ever since you were little, but he was always in the way. Then like a lunatic he starts shouting, Hope, don't believe a word he says. He's trying to take you away from me again. Hope jumped at the tone of his voice. I grabbed his neck. I took her away from you? You think she would give you the time of day? I treated you like family, and what did you do? Tell her, I sneered at him and clawed at his neck, drawing out blood. My father came over and mind-linked me so Alex wouldn't hear. We need him to figure out how he erased her memory. Alex, you will be punished for your treason as soon as we land. Brian is going to tear your head off. My father growled at him, cowered back in his seat. Alpha, please forgive me, he pleaded. Forgive you? For what? Tell her, I ordered him. Axel came over and stood by me. Tell her now, I snarled. I kidnapped you. I lied. I heard Hope gasp. I let go of him and smirked at him in victory. It was always him, Hope. Even though I erased your memory, he was always in the way, he screamed at her. Lower your voice when speaking to her, I growled before Axel hit him for what seemed like the 100th time. I want my bag, Hope said as she walked away with her head down. I followed her, got her bag and took it into the bedroom where she was sitting. Emily was with her. I'm sorry for all this, Hope said. You don't deserve this, nobody does, but you've always been strong and you'll make it through this. She leaned in carefully and hugged her. I smiled when I saw my baby hug her back. When we were left alone, she got up, opened her bag and took out one bottle after the other of her medication. She had gotten her a load. Can you please dispose of them? She asked so calmly. My pleasure. I emptied all the bottles in the toilet except for one. The doctor will need to study its composition to figure out a quick way to get her memory back. I came back into the bedroom and walked over to her. Her eyes met mine. I'm tired. Is it okay if I lay down here? Baby, this is our jet. Our bedroom. You can do whatever you want. I came in closer to her mouth-watering body and pulled her into my arms. She was hesitant and unsure, but as soon as I put her head against my chest, she melted into me like she had done every other time before. I brought my head into the crook of her neck and stayed there for a few seconds, letting her scent calm me. I missed her so much. I pulled back and took her face in my hands. Sleep, you look tired, I told her. So do you, she said. I kissed her forehead for not wanting to go for more because I wouldn't be able to stop myself, then put her in bed and tucked her in, but not before I made sure she had a sandwich and piece of fruit. I got in bed and lied down next to her. She tried to inch away, so I pulled her into my arms and ran my hand through her long hair. "Don't push me away. I won't ever hurt you. I love you," I whispered to her. I had her head on my left arm that wrapped around to her shoulder, and my other arm was around her waist. I felt myself relax when her breath evened out. She had fallen asleep. I looked down at her beautiful face and placed a single kiss on her nose. This is heaven. This is where I ever want to be. All the sleep deprivation finally caught up with me and I fell asleep listening to the beating of her heart. Hope. I woke up to the sound of someone knocking at the door. I felt a bit confused at first, not knowing where I was, until I found myself snuggled up in Zane's strong arms. He had me in a possessive hold, his arms both wrapped around me. Somehow this felt like déjà vu. "Coming," I said as I tried to get out of his grip. "We're going to be landing soon," Emily said through the door. "Okay, thank you," I said back, trying to keep my voice down. Zane looked peaceful and gorgeous in his sleep. My face was so close to his, I felt this sudden urge to kiss him. Why did he have this effect on me? I wasn't even sure everything he said was true. I lifted my hand slowly and traced his bottom lip. He suddenly opened his eyes and locked them on mine. I felt like I was trapped in his web. He was a lion and I his prey. Before I could move my hand away, he grabbed it and slipped my finger into his mouth seductively as he bit ever so lightly. My lips parted at the feeling of his tongue on my finger. It made me want him, but there was no way I was letting this happen. My body squirmed with need, but I moved my hand away and pushed at his hard chest, trying but failed miserably to get out of his clutches. He quickly turned so I was under him. "Baby, don't fight it, we were made for each other." "Oh my God! This is bad. I need to get up from under him and off this bed." "Your sister knocked on the door." "My sister is the least of my concern right now." He leaned down closer. "I have missed you so much." His voice was so raw and primal. He closes the space between us. I felt my whole body blossom and come to life as his warm mouth came down on mine in an instant urgent kiss. He slid his tongue into my mouth so hungrily and possessively, while his fingers remained soft as they trailed up my arm to the base of my neck and moved up a little to cup my face, deepening the kiss. I felt tingles everywhere our skin touched. This cannot be normal, it's just a kiss. I felt my whole body go weak as his tongue slid across mine. I couldn't help the faint moan that escaped me. He settles in between my legs and I can feel his erection through his jeans on my lower stomach. He was a god for sure, all muscular and beautiful. He is making me feel things that I don't understand. The intensity and desire between us was indescribable, but this cannot happen. I pushed against his chest with both my hands. "Zane, stop," I said with little conviction in my voice. He took both of my hands in his and held them tight against his chest, then lifted them over my head. He moved down to my jaw, then to my neck, making me shiver as he licks and kisses all the way up to my ear. "You are mine and mine alone." He let out a growl, an actual animalistic growl, but I wasn't scared. It only made me want him to rip my clothes off and have his way with me. Where are these thoughts coming from all of a sudden? I thought to myself. I know you can feel it. You don't want anyone else to kiss you but me. It's my voice that's always in your head. His voice is so possessive and alluring. He pulls back and looks into my eyes. Right. A tap at the door makes me jump. "Hey guys, we just landed," Emily calls, her voice full of amusement. "Zane, let me up," I whispered. "Not a chance, not until you answer me," he says as he nuzzles into my neck. "Oh my! Tell me. I try to break free but he is too strong. You're not going anywhere, not until you tell me. Tell you what? I answered, frustrated but loving his feel and all the weird yet arousing electric tingles shooting down my spine of his touch alone. That you only want me. Oh my god, there is no way I can say that to him. No, get off me before I punch you again. I tried to wiggle my way out from under him. He chuckled. Say it, baby, or you're not going anywhere. I only want you. I tell him what he wants to hear, wishing circumstances were different so I could tear his shirt off him and we could finish what he started. But this is too fast. Good girl, he smiles. Now you can get up. I jumped off the bed and straightened out my clothes, keeping my eyes off him. I cannot believe I let this happen. Zane. I walked over to her as she ran her hands through her hair. Baby, your parents and some of your friends are waiting outside for you. I told her as I cupped her face. I wanted her to look at me so I could decipher how she felt. My parents are here. She looked a bit nervous. Yes, your parents and friends are here, but so am I. I kissed her forehead. So anytime you feel overwhelmed I will tell them all to back off. She stayed quiet, thinking about what I said. Okay, she whispered. Hope went into the bathroom to freshen up while I went out to talk to my father. Axel has Alex in a deathly grip. I looked into his eyes once more. Welcome back. The dungeon will be your new home for the rest of your miserable life. Oh, but don't worry, that shouldn't be too long. Please forgive me and I'll tell you where Edward is, because this isn't over even if you kill me. I grabbed him by the neck and lifted him off the floor. I know how to get you to talk, you pathetic. I threw him down hard. I'm going to teach you to be with me. Hope came out of the bedroom and stopped when she saw him, then walked over to us. I put my arm around her waist and lead her over to where my father was talking to the pilot. Are you ready? My father asked her. Yes, my baby answered confidently. I couldn't help but stare at her. She was finally home. Our allies all welcomed her back before we made our way off the jet. I was surprised but happy that she didn't ask about Gavin. Then again, when Alex admitted to her what he had done, she must have figured that Gavin had a part in her abduction as well. When the time comes I will teach them both to violate her again. Right now I was happy she was by my side. I don't give a bedtime about anything but my woman's safety and happiness. As long as I have her back, that's all that matters to me. The medics I had called on to be ready when we land had Gavin on a stretcher, but he was still unconscious. Hope looked at them drag him away as they bowed to her. Take him straight to the hospital, don't wait for us, I ordered. Yes, Alpha. Axel and Emily walked in front of Hope and I, while my father and our allies walked behind us. Axel, make sure he gets to the car without a word, I said. We don't need any more attention. Don't worry, he'll keep his mouth shut. I put my hand around her waist when we neared where everyone was waiting for her. She flinched a little, but hey, at least she wasn't trying to run or kick. I held her by the elbow and she stopped walking, looking up at me with those beautiful eyes. I stood frozen, lost in her exquisite orbs. Are you ready, baby? I asked, finally finding my voice. I took her chin between my fingers. She stayed quiet at first, then nodded her head yes. As soon as we stepped foot out of the airport, loud clapping, whistles, pack members calling out her name, and cries filled the air. I wasn't shocked that almost all of the pack was here to welcome her home. Hope is very much loved within our pack. She looked a little flustered, so I put my arm around her waist and brought her into me. Who are they all? She asked me. Friends and family baby, I kissed her forehead. Hope. There was a crowd of people all clapping and cheering when we walked out. My eyes searched around for an older woman who might resemble me because that's the only way I would be able to acknowledge her. My heart was beating faster by the minute until Zane pulled me into his warm embrace and I saw her. She had emerald green eyes and blonde hair. I knew right away she was the one. She was so beautiful, tall, and lean like a goddess. My mom. She came running and crying towards me. I stopped and looked up at Zane. He nodded and smiled at me. That's your mother, baby, he whispered right before I felt her wrap her arms around me tight. My heart clenched for her. She must have been through a lot. A tall handsome man was right behind her and I knew who he was. Princess, his voice broke just before he hugged both my mother and I. Everything was in slow motion. For a minute I couldn't believe what was happening. She cupped my face and kept kissing me on my cheeks, forehead, head. I stood there looking at them in wonder and disbelief. I had parents who were well and alive, but I couldn't remember them. Are you okay, honey? She asked. I stayed quiet for a moment, unsure how to answer her, but the look on her face made me feel bad. Yes, I'm fine, I reassured her. Baby, I'm going to take you back to the car, I heard Zane say to me. I looked at him, wanting him to stay close to me. I didn't say anything though, and I watched him walk away with my bag. Let's go home, my father said as he held me tight and walked me over to a black Hummer where Zane was standing. So many people my age and older people all bowed and hugged me. Even though I could not recognize anyone, I felt like I was home in my father's arms and my mother's warm embrace. Hope. I stood by the car feeling a bit overwhelmed. Why had all these people come to greet me and why were they bowing? Zane was standing a few feet away talking to his father and my father, but he kept glancing at me. There was a line of black Hummers lined up one after the other that screamed for adventure, and I had a feeling my adventure was just about to start. A good kind of adventure. I had so many questions that needed answering, but right now was not the time. Honey, don't be afraid, nobody is going to hurt you, I heard my mother say. I guess she noticed how tense I was. My mother. Saying it in my head sounds crazy. I looked at her, still feeling oddly uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded my head. Come on, let's get in. She opened the door. I hesitated for a few seconds. I knew I was safe, but I was reluctant to get in right away, so she climbed in first and tapped the seat next to her. You're okay, honey, I promise, she said. Princess, are you ready to get going? My father was standing beside me now, smiling. I felt safe with him by my side. He had the warmest smile. Everything is going to be okay, we're going home now, I promise, he continued. I looked back at Zane. He was talking to Emily's boyfriend. When he saw me looking at him, he walked over, held my hand and squeezed lightly, those tingles taking over my body once more. Let's go home, he said, and helped me in. I slid in next to my look-alike mom. She took my hand and rubbed it lovingly. Zane got in the driver's seat, and soon after we pulled out I noticed the line of Hummers behind us. I noticed how Zane kept looking back at me in the rear-view mirror, which made me want to reach over and take his hand, or better yet climb over and sit on his lap. But of course I couldn't. I felt myself blush as I thought of our kiss and how he was able to leave me wanting more when he touched me. This man is pure seduction, but had I been too rash by giving in to him? No, absolutely not. All my visions, my memories were mostly of him. And that deep voice I would hear in my head is one I'll never forget. I still needed answers as to how we could talk through telepathy. Princess, I can't tell you how happy your mom and I are right now. Our pain and suffering has ended now that you're back, my father said from the passenger seat. I'm sorry I put you all through so much, I said. You have nothing to be sorry for. None of this was your fault, Zane said strictly. I smiled at him for that. If anything, it was my fault for trusting that. We all trusted him, my father said, but he will be dealt with accordingly. My father's voice came out strong and powerful. Mom pulled me into her. I leaned my head on her shoulder and kept my eyes on the handsome driver. She ran her fingers through my hair. I closed my eyes, allowing myself to relax. About an hour later we turned off the main road onto a dirt road for about 5 miles. All I could see was a thick dense forest on both sides of the road. At the end of the dirt road was a paved road, and soon we reached a huge metal and brick wall, which was actually a security gate that was heavily guarded by electrical machines and instruments. Once in, Zane stopped the car for the security guards. Alpha, he bowed. We're happy you have returned with your mate. Zane thanked them before he drove on by. The vast forest seemed to go on and on forever until we reached what looked like a modern village with a vintage appeal. There were many houses that looked like cottages, different in size but very similar in style. We kept going until we reached a huge white mansion. The estate where Alex kept me was nothing compared to this one. The rest of the cars behind us all went down into what looked like an underground parking lot. This place was breathtaking. When the car came to a stop, my father was first to open his door and climb out. I saw a beautiful woman run down the stairs towards us crying. "Mom, please easy, she's tired," I heard Zane say. She opened my door and jumped in, engulfing me with her arms. "Hope," she cried. She took my face in her hands. "Oh, thank goddess you're okay and back home." She hugged me again. "Mom, let her go, she's tired," Zane said. She laughed, then let me go. "I'm sorry," she wiped her eyes. "It's just so good to see you again." Zane helped me down. Not that I needed help, but having his arm around me felt good, so I didn't mind. A huge group of people all gathered in front of the mansion. Zane took me by the waist. "Let's go inside, then I'm taking you to the hospital." When we reached the top of the rock steps that lead inside the mansion, Zane's father stopped and turned around to face the crowd. Everyone was quiet all of a sudden. "Ever since your future Luna, hope, was taken away from us, a dark cloud has been hanging over our lands. But that is no longer the case. Today we have our Luna back." Everyone cheered and howled. Zane pulled me against his chest. I tried to get out of his grip, but that only made him hold me tighter. There were too many people, not to mention his parents and mine. That didn't seem to bother him. He lifted my chin up and kissed me with passion. It felt like he was claiming me in front of everyone as the crowd erupted into cheers. "Zane! I'm so grateful to be back home and to have found her. I can finally breathe again." It was hard trying to focus on the road with her sitting in the back. "She is so sweet." Her voice alone gave me a hard-on. I had a taste of her today, but I need more. I need her. Hunter was finally relaxed. "I still have to make a trip back to Maine. I want to. No, I need to go see where he was keeping her all this time." There was one question that I was dreading asking her. It would kill me if she said she had slept with him. I need to think about something else, or thinking about him with her will definitely not end up well. I'll have to remember to send someone over to take care of the mess I made at the penthouse the last time I thought of that with her. I still have a lot of questions for Alex and the rogue I still have locked up in the dungeon. He said he would tell me where to find Edward. I'll get it out of him, and then I'm going after Edward and his pack. But right now I had to make sure my baby was okay. We sat in the private area of the pack house with her parents and mine. I had made sure to tell them not to ask her any questions. I could have killed Matt and Kyle when they picked her up and swung her around. Right now she is sitting in between her parents near the fire. I want her all to myself, but I can't be selfish, at least not today. They tried getting her to eat, but she said she wasn't hungry, she only had some fresh orange juice. I watched her take small sips of her drink and lick her lips every once in a while. She has to accept me and allow herself to be with me once again, because whether she is in touch with her wolf or not, she has no choice. I will never leave her or let her leave me. Sounds nuts, but that's just how I am. There's only so much I can take. I stood up, her eyes instantly caught mine. I want to take you to the hospital. That's a good idea, her mom said as she stood up. The doctor said Hope was perfectly healthy from the outside, but on the inside was something else altogether. The most important thing was that she had to stop taking the drugs Alex had put her on ASAP. She said only time will tell when Hope would regain her memory, but she also said that it's very likely that when she gets her wolf back she will instantly get her memory back. Of course the doctor told me the part about her wolf in private, because right now Hope has no clue that she's a werewolf and I don't want to freak he out. She's been through a lot because of him. Which reminds me, I have to go torture then kill him, but I had to make sure she was settled in first. Honey, we are going to go home, it's late and the doctor said you need to rest, Catherine told my baby. We had just come back from the doctor. Oh okay, let's go then. Hope got up. Her mom looked at me. Baby, I walked up to her and gently turned her face towards me. We live here together in our private wing. But if you want to stay at your parents' house, I understand, I said. She looked at me, her cheeks flushed. She has to stop with all those innocent looks. I think I'd like to go home with them, she said, making me clench my jaw, but I couldn't be angry, not too much at least. Okay, whatever you want, I'll walk with you. I walked her home holding her hand the whole way. Brian and Catherine walked ahead of us. When we reached her front door, I lifted both her hands up and kissed each one softly, never taking my eyes off hers. She stood frozen, just like she had all those many months ago when I first found out she was mine. I took her face in both my hands and slowly closed the distance between us as I brought her mouth to mine, plunging my tongue into her mouth, wanting to feel her warm tongue on mine. She tastes like heaven. I really want to be with her. I miss her body under mine. Baby, I whispered, if you don't stop me now, I won't be able to stop myself from taking you against the door. She pulls away, breathing heavy, and I can't help the smile on my face. This is going to be a long night. Zane. I left Hope with her parents, but mind-linked Brian on my way out that I was going to the dungeon. He knows what I'm going to do, so he responded right away. Zane, for the love of all things holy, do what you will, but I want to be the one to kill him. Make him pay. Just try to make sure he's still conscious when you're done with him. I want to make sure he dies by my hands. Zane, please remember we grew up together, we are friends. I made a mistake, Alex said when he saw me walk in. You made a mistake? I sneered. Yes, I'm sorry. You put the letters in her locker. It was more of a statement than a question. Yes, it was a harmless joke. I clenched my jaw. I had to get more information out of him. You said you knew where Edward was. Yes, I'll tell you, Ev. How do you know? I cut him off. He put his head down before he spoke. I am his son. I was shocked. I have known him ever since he was just a kid. I thought his parents were dead. We took him in the bastard. I couldn't help the anger that was building up inside me. I stared at him for a moment. You were behind all this the whole time? I stood up. Zane, I was a kid, it's his fault he came up with the plan. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He used you to spy on us, I said casually, finally fitting all the pieces together. Yes, he had his hopes on you getting together with Stephanie and making her your Luna. After that he would have her convince you to merge your pack and his into one, that way he would be invincible. He paused. I couldn't wait to strangle him. I fell in love with Hope when she was little. I couldn't help it. What a sick mother. I took a seat and put my head down. I took a deep breath, trying to calm Hunter and myself down. You kidnapped my mate. How did you erase her memory? Who helped you? They helped me. Edward and Stephanie both did. That's where his pack is hiding now, in Maine. We used a wolfsbane. How does Gavin fit in this? I asked in a low, calm voice. He was being very cooperative because he's a coward and because he thinks I'll forgive him if he does. He knows about us werewolves and he wants to change. I promised him I would help him change, become one of us if he helped me. There is no Kane or leader of the rogues. I made that up to create a diversion so you wouldn't ever suspect me. I told her his name was Kane so his real name wouldn't ring a bell, because she kept having visions of from your life together. Hell, I could only imagine what he put her through. I got up and grabbed the rogue in the next cell by the neck. Do you know him? I pointed to Alex and squeezed at his neck. The rogue coughed. He was sick from the humidity and could barely stand on his own. Yes, he helped the woman let us out. He wanted take your mate, but the woman wanted her dead. His voice cracked as he spoke. I glared back at Alex. At the same time Brian walked in. His large frame made the rogue cower. I let him drop on the floor. I dragged Alex out of his cage. I never hurt your daughter or even touched her or forced myself on her, he told Brian. The moment you took her away from me, from her family, you hurt her. I raged out at him, tired of playing games with him. I bashed his head on the wall. Forgive me, don't kill me, he screamed, begging for mercy he wasn't going to get. You plotted with Crystal, then you kidnapped her. You wiped out her memory with wolfsbane. You fed her about me when I treated you like a brother. We took you in when you were a pathetic eyeball. So no, I won't spare your life or anyone who helped you plot against me. I threw him down at Brian's feet. He's all yours, let me know when it's done. I walked out without looking back. I felt relieved as I walked over to see my baby. I hope she didn't think I'd let her sleep alone. I was almost at her house when I saw her sitting on the steps. I jogged over to her. Why is she sitting outside alone? My heart beat faster and Hunter sighed in longing when he saw her. Her eyes lit up when she saw me. Baby, what's wrong? Why are you outside alone? I picked her up, then sat down with her on my lap. She tried to get up but held her down. Her scent trapped with my head again. She was wearing short shorts and a tank top. Little tease for me. What were you doing out here? Nothing, I couldn't sleep. I heard the voice again and I can't sleep because of it. She looked right at me and leaned into me just a little bit. I smiled to myself when I felt her melt into me without her even realizing it. This is our mate bond at its finest. She melts into me without any recognition and can't sleep without me. The voice will soon go away and all this will make sense to you soon, baby. But I have something that can help you sleep. She looked at me wide-eyed and tried to get up. I laughed at the look she had on her beautiful face. Baby, get your head out of the gutter. I kissed her forehead. That's not what I meant, but if you want that did always help you sleep better, that is exactly what I meant. Oh my god, she hit my arm and tried hiding her face. I love that she's being so playful right now. I meant your library where you like to read and eventually fall asleep. I ran my hand through her hair at the same time she traced her finger over my eyebrow. I was getting hard. My library? She asked, smiling and bewilderment in her eyes. I licked my bottom lip and nodded. Come on, I'll show you. I picked her up bridal style and walked towards the pack house. She kicked her feet up and down. I can walk by myself, she giggled. I like carrying you. I lifted her and turned her towards me. She wrapped her legs around my waist. Why does this feel no natural? She asked in a low voice as she ran her fingers through my hair. Because you're mine and I'm yours. I squeezed her and kissed her neck at the same time. Her breath hitched when she saw our private part of the mansion. I watched her look around in awe at our little sanctuary. Isn't this room the same as the one downstairs? She asked about the living room. It's your favorite room, so I had a replica made just for us. She looked surprised. Wow, who does that? I do. I would do anything for you. I meant every word. I stared at my baby until she walked off exploring. Why are these two rooms empty? She asked me, peeking in through the door. We left these empty for when we had pups. She looked at me with that look on her face. Her cheeks turned the cutest shade of pink. You know, babies. I pulled her by the waist and led her away. And here's our library. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I love reading. She walked in, looking up and down at all the wooden shelves on the walls, but my attention was on her. I know, that's why we have this room just for us. I walk up from behind her and wrap my arms around her waist. She surprises me by turning around to face me and wraps her arms around my neck. Her cleavage was on full display for me. I dipped my head down a little and took her bottom lip between my teeth, then kissed her. She kissed me right back, slow and teasingly, coming together then apart. I couldn't resist sliding my hand down to her and squeezing it. She whimpered, melting into me. My erection was leaking by now. The things I wanted to do to her. I want you. Will you stay with me tonight, baby? She trembled in my arms and moaned, yes, that's all the invitation I needed. I lifted her up a little and she wrapped her legs around my waist as I rushed us out. Where are we going? She giggled. Bedroom. Zane, I cut her off with a passionate kiss against our bedroom door. Do you want me to be with you tonight, baby? I mumbled to her between kissing her lips and pulling her shirt over her head. Because I miss you. I pulled back from her to take a look at her. She blushed under my stare. I love you. Oh my god, she screamed. I stopped and looked up at her. I only want to hear you scream my name. I lifted her over to the bed and lay her down. Mine, I growl and climb in bed to hover on top of her. I love you more than anything, I say. She's moaning and whimpering and I love it. I need to hear you, baby, tell me how it feels. So good, yes, more. Zane. I felt like the luckiest bastard on the face of this earth. I had the woman I love safe in my arms, just like I told her. She fell into blissful sleep. I got a mind link from Brian that the deed was done and that I was needed at the hospital. Gavin had been asking to see me. I told him that Hope was with me and didn't want to leave her alone. Zane, the kid could die. He's asking for you. Is Hope asleep? I looked down at his daughter and satisfied. Yes, she's asleep. I moved a strand of hair off her face as I answered his question. She'll be fine then, but if you're worried you could always carry her home. She's been through a lot physically and emotionally. I wanted her to sleep and honestly I didn't want her to leave our bed. So I got up, got dressed and walked out, but the farther away I got from her the more anxious I became. I knew she was safe but I had just gotten her back and I'll be a asterisk if I let anyone take her away again. Gavin was a gory mess. His eyes were swollen over black and blue, his nose is smashed and his jaw broken. He tried to open his eyes as best as he could. Brian was already in his room standing by his bed. You wanted to see me? I stood by him feeling a little sorry for the kid. Yes, his voice was hoarse and he sounded like he needed water. Get him some water, I ordered the nurse. I want to explain about Hope. He spoke like he was being choked. Why? I asked calmly. Because I don't think I'm going to make it and I want to make sure things are clear. Go on. Brian stood by listening. I met Alex at school. He came up to me one day after school and asked if I was the one who followed Hope home. Anyway, he asked me to keep harassing her and he would make sure I could change. He even gave me a wolf name, Kane, that's what he called me. He said it's the name I should go by. He paused in pain for a short while. The nurse came in with a cup and bottle of water. She poured some and helped him drink when he was finished. Continue, Brian ordered him coldly. I didn't know he was planning to kidnap her. One day at school he came up to me. He said he wanted to warn me that I had to leave because you were coming after me. I was scared so I agreed to leave and join his pack. When we got to Maine I was shocked to see Hope there. She was freaking out. He had her in chains. When I tried to help her he beat the out of me. I ran my hand through my hair then down my face as I let out a load of curses at the thought of her chained up, freaking out. I hope you tortured him before killing him, I growled at Brian. Let's just say he's in pieces. The next time I saw her he had her hooked up to all kinds of machines. There were 2 women there. One was his sister, the other was some kind of black magic spell worker, and his father. His voice broke and tears rolled down his face. She called out for you. I felt my heart break when he said that. I cannot imagine he put her through. Hunter howled out in misery. But he told her not to fight it, that it was inevitable. He told her he wanted to make her forget about everything. And he did. He paused again in pain. I tried to remind him she's your Luna and you wouldn't stop till you found her, but he didn't care. He's crazy, so is his family. I tried to get him to stop. I told him she would forget her own name, but he didn't care. He wanted to get rid of her wolf and make her forget about wolves and mates. He wanted her to forget about you forever. He said she could take the pain, that she's strong. He winced in pain of just speaking, then continued, while my heart broke for my baby. She had been put through so much. She is very strong. He let out a huffed laugh. She kicked me every day. Why didn't you send a message sooner? I asked him, my voice low. I was too scared and I was already framed and in too deep. I was scared because I knew you'd kill me. You wouldn't believe me, but it doesn't matter now. I'm dying anyway. I just wanted you to know. Why did you stay there? Why didn't you leave? Brian asked him. I stayed there because I couldn't leave her there with him. She thought he was taking care of her because she had no family. He told her that he killed her family and that he was out to get her. She trusted him and he took advantage of that. He told her that him and I were brothers, but he beat out of me every day because he saw us getting closer, or when I mentioned you. So I pretended to be on his side until I could leave and get help. I growled at him when he said they were getting closer. Not like that yet. I liked her at first when we were in school, but after the time we spent together she became something more to me. I've never had a sister or brother, so Hope became like a sister to me. His tears were pouring out now and his voice was barely comprehensible. One day after training I decided to tell her. We were sitting in the training room but I saw Alex hiding, listening in on our conversation. He winced again and paused. Brain got closer to him. She asked me who killed her parents and I said your name because I knew he was listening. I wanted to leave. I had the chance so many times but I couldn't leave her with him. He was bawling now. I would hear her screaming at night because of her nightmares. It broke my heart. He wept. Why did he do this to you and lock you in the dungeon? Brian asked him. He heard me telling Hope that I was leaving for a few days. He knew I was going to tell her friends from school. I'm sorry he hurt her. I'm sorry for everything. The nurses told me she's fine. I'm glad she doesn't deserve what happened to her. You were also played and hurt. I said we're going to do everything we can to help you through this. This kid has been beaten over and over again. The evidence was on his skin, old bruises and cuts all over his body. There was sadness and pain in his eyes, heaviness and sorrow that slowed his speech. Every word Gavin confessed was truth. Brian looked at me. There is only one way to get him through this, or he's going to die. He mind-linked me. He was right. If I wanted to save Gavin we would have to change him. He would have to become a wolf. I made sure Gavin had the best care. I promised him that he would live to see his parents again. He was just a kid. He didn't deserve this cruelty. Alex got what he deserved and so would Gavin. I hurried back to the pack house and took the private elevator up to my part of the house with my baby. I opened the door to our bedroom and my heart tightened in my chest. Hope was sitting in bed with her legs curled up against her chest, rocking back and forth. She was still with only a sheet around her. When she saw me walk in, her tears spilled. Hope, I ran over to her side. Baby, what is it? I sat down next to her, picked her up and put her on my lap. She buried her head into my neck. Did you have a nightmare? She pulled the sheets around her tighter but cuddled into me. Hope, tell me so I can help you. It's nothing, I'm okay. I'm sorry I left you. I had to go to the hospital. Is he okay? Who, Kane? No, Gavin. I tried to pull her head back so I could look into her eyes. But that only made her hold on to me tighter. I remember what Alex did. Her voice broke me. I pulled her up gently and cupped her face. Baby, do you remember everything? Yes, I remember, she cried. Where were you? She sobbed. Why didn't you come for me sooner? My heart broke from the pain shooting through me. It was her pain I could feel. I almost doubled over from the pain and agony I felt. She grabbed onto my shirt. I held her tight as I stroked her hair softly, trying to calm her down while I whispered apologies in her ear. Baby, I looked for you every day. I tried my best but he had the upper hand. I cupped her face. Baby, I went through hell without you. I looked for you night and day. I looked into her eyes. She was still missing her wolf. Alex has been taken care of. He got what he deserved. What about Stephanie and Edward? They were there too. I'm going to kill her. She cried, breaking my heart over and over. I promise you, every person who schemed to take you away from me and hurt you will suffer. They will all pay for what they put you through. She stayed quiet, clinging on to me tight. The sheet had fallen off her upper body. I held her tight, rubbing my hands up and down her back as she held on to me like I was going to disappear. I'm going to murder every last one of them. I'm sorry, I know it's not your fault, she finally said, her arms still wrapped around my neck as she cried. Don't apologize ever, this was not your fault. We were played for a long time. Jenna isn't back. Do you think she'll come back? Of course baby, she just needs time. She was traumatized too. Hunter sighs longingly. She pulls back from me and kisses me. I missed you so much, I love you so much, she said. I love you too baby, I whispered as I held her tight. Zane. Where were you? Why didn't you come for me sooner? After Hope finally fell asleep, I couldn't stop thinking about what she said. Did she actually think I would not do everything in my power to look for her? Does she not know what she is to me? Doesn't she know that without her I am the biggest asterisk and can't stand to be around any other woman but her? What she said with what Gavin told me had me up all night. She was freaking out. He had her in chains. The next time I saw her he had her hooked up to all kinds of machines. She called out for you. I was haunted with what he told me she went through. Is this the moon goddess punishing me for how I used to treat women? Is this karma hitting me in the balls? I never wanted a serious relationship or any kind of relationship. I was too busy taking care of our businesses and our allies. I was 27 and done playing the field, so I had women I would just trapped. They knew it was nothing permanent and they accepted it. If a woman got too clingy or started calling me her boyfriend, I would cut her off completely. I never had to take out a woman or spend time listening to her about her feelings or whatever. Basically, I was with a woman long enough to be with her, get off and then go our separate ways. I never wanted a mate either. When I was younger I didn't mind the idea, but the older I got, I thought for sure I would reject any mate if I was ever to find mine. But when I first saw Hope by the pool in that god-forsaken bikini and she tried to push me away, I was hooked. It was the first time a woman had denied me anything. I was always the one being chased. Women would give me whatever I wanted right away, but with Hope I'm the one doing the chasing and she's my prey. Even after she turned of age and became in touch with her wolf, she still drives me crazy and makes me chase her, increasing my desirability. And that's why I'm almost always turned on when she's near me. For example, she still leaves me to spend time or go out with her friends. Even if I beg her to stay with me she won't, which drives me up the wall, and she still sleeps at her parents' house. Other mates don't do that, they are constantly together, that's the norm. But whether she goes out with friends or sleeps in her old room, I always follow her. Like I said, I'm the chaser and I have to admit I love chasing her. Before Hope I wasn't interested in watching a woman sleep, or listen to her heartbeat. What a feisty little thing, I thought to myself as I sniffed her hair. Strong though, I can't wait to start training with her again. For now I want to wait until she was okay emotionally and she had Jenna back. Right now she's fast asleep, I have her up against me spooning her. I bring my head down to her neck and place a soft kiss. Why are you up? She said, turning to face me. I didn't want to wake her. I haven't been able to sleep. I kissed her cheek. Are you okay? What's wrong? Nothing, I'm just happy to have you back. I leaned down and kissed her full lips. I'm happy to be back. I wish none of this ever happened. I wanted to ask her what she meant by none of this. Had she had enough of being with me? First it was the rogue attack by Crystal, then the bracelet by Stephanie, and then Alex kidnapped her with help from Stephanie. Did she resent the fact that I was her mate? I'm sorry all this happened to you because of me. She looks up at me. That's not true. She sits up to check the time on her phone. I want to go see my parents and then everybody else. Now that her memory was back, she was excited to see her family and friends, but I didn't want her to leave. Baby, it's early, your parents are still asleep and so is everyone else except for the Omegas. She giggles. I don't want to sleep if you haven't slept all night. She smiles at me and has a look on her face. I have something that can help you sleep. Yeah, what's that? I ask, wanting to see what she'll do next. I can think of a few things. My kitten sits up then settles between my legs. Hope. I felt bad that Zane was blaming himself for what happened to me. He's not to blame at all. I was on my hands and knees between his legs. I reached for his boxers and tugged them down. His big thick manhood springs out erect and ready. I licked my bottom lip. I love sucking you. My whole body was instantly on fire. I felt tingles run down my spine, making me wet for him. You taste so good. Baby, you look so sweet. You're such a tease, he continues. The physical chemistry between us is incredible. It's like our bodies move in sync. He's my perfect match and I adore him. The heat is rising and I'm dying for release, something only he could ever give me. I can't help the moan that escapes me, eager for him to take me hard and deep. Tell me, baby, do you like me? You from behind. Oh my goddess, he's all mine. I nodded, feeling lightheaded. I couldn't find the words he wanted to hear. I can't hear you. Yes I do, I moaned out loud. I felt myself tighten around him. You do what, baby? His voice was soft. I like you taking me from behind. I know you do. You like me, you, and making you scream. He grips me and I could feel myself getting close. Zane, I'm going to. You're so beautiful. Oh my goddess, I moaned. Only my name, baby, he said. I arched my back, wanting more friction. Don't move, can you do that for me, baby? Yes, I whispered. Good girl, he started and I was lost in him. Zane. I can't lose you ever, I told her. I finally emptied with a growl of her name. I love you, I said. I held her tight. Hope, stay with me, I said before drifting off to sleep. Hope. As soon as I made sure Zane was fast asleep, I slipped out of bed and headed for the shower. Then got ready and took our private elevator down to the main floor. Zane was out cold for sure because he usually wouldn't let me leave the bed even in his sleep. I got off the elevator and took the hallway down to the foyer and came face to face with my parents. They must have just come up to the pack house. Mom, I shouted and jumped at both my parents. Princess, I heard Dad's voice break. It's so good to have you back, Mom says, hugging me tight. I could hold on to them forever. A few seconds later and Zane's parents are also hugging me. Is Zane coming down soon? Zane's father asked after the hype between Luna and Mom had settled down. I don't think so, he actually fell asleep about 30 minutes ago. Oh, what was he up doing all night? I hear a very familiar voice mock me. It was clear that my memory was back because of how reserved I was when I first saw everyone at the airport, and this morning I'm all smiles and hugging everyone here and there. Kyle. I turn and hug him tight, ignoring his perverted question. My father walks away with the alpha. I'll see you later, princess. My heart lights up when I see Jason walk in with Skyla. They must be coming to get breakfast. He's smiling and looks so happy. His eyes meet mine and I cannot help the huge smile plastered across my face. He runs over and I hug him tight. Skyla growls at me and I laugh at how cute she is. I love your mate so much, he's always been a brother to me. I tell her, laughing. I'm sorry Luna, my wolf can't control her jealousy, she says as Jason puts his arm around her and kisses her forehead. I'm loving how happy he is. Hope you and your memory are back just in time for prom, Jason says. Oh, I can't wait, I just have to convince my date to come along. I wink at him and walk off when I see Axel and Emily coming down the stairs. I'm so happy you're still here, I tell her. I wouldn't leave you when you were acting like a lunatic, she laughs. I'm sorry I was a peach to you on our flight back, I say, hugging her. His sister could never be my friend, let alone best friend. She repeated what I said to her in a silly voice, trying to mimic me. Axel and I laughed at her. It felt so good to be back home with my family and friends and to remember each and every one of them. Axel excused himself to go make some calls and Emily and I met with our friends outside where we would always gather around either to just hang out or to make plans or to ditch some boring dinner party. It felt good to be just us again. I love Zane, he's my life, but these guys are the people I grew up with. They knew everything about me and I knew everything about them. We all had our mates except for Amy, but she didn't mind. Amy reminds me of a female version of what Zane used to be. I just hope her messing around so much and breaking hearts doesn't cause dilemma after dilemma between her and her mate when she finds him like it did to me and Zane. So are we taking our mates to prom or are we asking someone else? Derek earned himself a nice hard smack from Kara when he joked like that. I wouldn't dare, Jason said. It's easy for you guys, but I'm going to have a hard time convincing Axel to come. Emily says. Yeah, me too, but we can still go if they don't want to. Convince me to come where? Axel hugs her from behind. I'll tell you later. She turns around and kisses him. They are such a cute couple. Are you guys leaving today? I ask, hoping the answer is no. Yet I just need to meet with Zane before we leave. Okay, well, I have to go check on Gavin. I'll see you guys later. I'm about to walk away when I hear Luna call me for breakfast. But there was no way I was having breakfast before visiting him in the hospital. Gavin stayed and put up with Alex for my sake, I know he did. But he still had some explaining to do. Right now I really didn't care, I just needed to know he was going to be fine. Our hospital was built long ago, like the rest of the houses and buildings inside our territory, but they were all very well kept and what needed remodeling was renovated immediately. I generally don't like visiting hospitals because of the way they smell, but our hospital has a pure fragrance, not sterile, just very clean. The receptionist helped me find Gavin's room. I walked in feeling a sense of sadness take over me. Is he awake? I asked the nurse inside. Luna, are you feeling better? She looked surprised to see me. Yes, I'm fine, my memory is back. Would you like me to call a doctor to examine you quickly? She looked genuinely concerned. I'm fine, there's no need, thank you. How is he? I asked, walking over to Gavin's side. I felt so many different feelings watching him. He was no longer the arrogant football star of the school trying to get me to go out with him. He was now a friend that I cared a lot about. He's fighting for his life, I heard my father say. I don't want him to die, I could feel myself tear up. I remembered how nice he was to me, how we had created a friendship. He and I would talk for hours in the training room. He was never perverted or tried anything, he was always just there for me. I had him to talk to. My father told me everything Gavin told Zane and my heart broke again. So much pain and suffering because of me. I held my friend's hand. What can we do to save him? He doesn't look like he has much time. His only option is to change him, but an unmated she-wolf has to do it. I already knew what Dad was talking about. In order for Gavin to survive, an unmated she-wolf would have to be willing to mark him, and then they would essentially become mates after he swears allegiance to our pack. I'm still holding Gavin's hand when I hear him call my name, almost as if he was whispering. I got closer to him. He opened his swollen eyes. "Hope, I'm sorry, I should have told you." His voice was barely audible. "Don't I understand why you didn't? Just please try to relax." I was in tears now. I had to think fast. Who would be willing to mark him and lose their chance at meeting their true mate? I thought to myself. Gavin is very handsome. Any girl would be lucky to have him, especially now that he wasn't acting like a complete jerk. The more I thought, only one name would come to mind. Amy. I wish I could talk to him about this and see if he'd like Amy to be his mate. I spoke mostly to myself. She's beautiful and very nice to hang out with. Why wouldn't he like her? He's a player, but so is she. I smiled to myself. Dad, I think I found someone who might be willing to mark him. I'm not sure though. Okay, you'll have to talk to her ASAP, and I have to talk to Alpha about this, but go have breakfast first. He kisses me and walks out. I wasn't going to wait to talk to anyone. Gavin needs help and he doesn't have much time. I called Amy and asked her to come meet me at the hospital, and she came right away. I explained everything to her. "Hope, Gavin has been hitting on you all year. He's never looked my way." She was absolutely right. I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is ask and pray he makes it. I paused. He saved my life in more ways than one, and I want to save his. "And we will, baby," Zane said from behind me. He wrapped his arms around my waist and kissed the top of my head. "Can I think about it, Hope? Of course I don't want you to feel pressured. I can find someone else," I told Amy before she walked away with her head down. In all honesty, I was desperate. Gavin didn't look like he had too much time. I was in my own head thinking when Zane buried his face in my neck. "When are you going to start listening to me?" he asked, sounding so cute, not like his usual bossy self. "I have no idea what you're talking about," I laughed. "Well, I do. I remember telling you to stay with me." "Oh, I don't recall you saying that," I giggled. "Let me refresh your memory. It was right." I turned around and put my hand over his mouth. "Oh my goddess, he has no shame." He chuckled, then kissed the palm of my hand. "I love this dirty-minded man." I filled Zane in on what Amy and I were talking about, but I told him she was in doubt. "I can find someone that will mark him," Zane said. "Who?" "There are plenty of she-wolves, baby." "Oh please, not another one of your friends with benefits. I've been hurt one too many times by them." I didn't mean to hurt him. But it was true. Both women that he had relationships with had tried to hurt me, and Gavin was also a victim this time. Zane didn't say anything right away. I expected he would be angry, but he just kissed my forehead and left the hospital. I wanted to go after him and take back what I said, but I couldn't right now. Gavin needed me. All of a sudden Jenna's sweet voice echoed through my head, warming my soul. "Hi beautiful, I'm sorry I was too hurt and weak to help you when you needed me most." "Jenna. Oh my goddess, Jenna, I'm so sorry for all that's happened to you. I finally had my wolf back. I had my other half back. You don't have to be sorry for anything, it's not your fault. But it's time for revenge. I hope you're ready." "I've never been more ready in my life," I said to my wolf. This was one war that was inevitable. No matter what, I would be a part of it, even if I had to go all the way to Maine on my own. "Zane. What she said was true. Two of the women I had sex with over a period of time did end up hurting her. One I had already taken care of and the other, well, once I go for her father we'll see what happens, but one thing is for sure, if Hope thinks she can reject me she has something else coming. I walked away and left the hospital not wanting to say something I might regret, but she was right and I didn't know how to defend myself in situations like this without getting angry. I've been feeling like crap since the first day when Crystal had the rogues attack her in attempts to kill her. I knew both women before Hope. I didn't think my actions would have such grave consequences. I didn't think they would turn out to be crazy, and I didn't think I would ever care so much for a woman. I don't talk, though Hope can never leave me or there will be hell to pay. But right now I had to take care of Gavin's issue. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.